Here's what's coming up on the Cold Popcast.
Hadn't been stretched out in a while, so then I was doing all the stretching.
Oh my
it's like
God.
my starting to get numb.
He's like kind of bragging about it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think that's funny. It's kind of like, I mean, that's the only way you can really clap back at the internet. I don't feel like anyone would be that stone cold, especially with the type of like scrutiny you're getting from it, like with their wife having, basically got literally railed on camera. What's poppin', everybody?
welcome back to the Cold Popcast.
I'm Zoe.
And I'm Steve.
And we're going to be talking about Adam 22 and his little controversy. I'm sure you guys probably heard about it by now, but if not, Steve, go ahead and tell us what happened with
Well,
him.
basically, he fed his wife to the dogs.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so this Adam 22, he's the host of No Jumper podcast, and against probably all of his friends' recommendations,
Like literally all of his friends, the internet, his parents.
yeah, he pretty much allowed his wife to create a adult video with another man.
Yes.
Weeks after they got married.
Yeah, so he and it was funny. It was very like recent. He had recently got married. They already had a kid together. So he basically had a full family. And everyone kind of expected maybe there's going to be a lifestyle change, but because him and his wife did participate in adult entertainment prior to this, but. It was kind of a thing to where in interviews he had discussed that they were either going to slow down or they were not going to like do that any further. And I think they were doing like it exclusive. So it was always just them, him, he would maybe step out, but she was more or less exclusive to him. But then, kind of right after the whole like marriage and everything, then he decided to go ahead and let his wife, do a scene with a black man.
Some would call him a bull.
Yeah.
Stallion, yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious because I've no internet rhetoric, and it's actually funny because there's kind of a thing where like it's one thing for your wife, because they'll call you a cuck if you like let your your significant other, usually the wife, step out. But it's actually perceived as like way worse if it's a black guy that does it.
Yeah. Well, that's just generally like it probably has something to do with the Jim Crow era.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to just say like it's based in racism, but I mean,
yeah,
I think that's just kind of like the perception is it's definitely that.
Well, also I think it's like got something to do with size, like like the size stereotypes and everything. It's like, wow, your wife not only did she step out, but she might be like finished. Like there might not be any left for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's like this this ideal of like the black this like black male sexuality is seen as such a like, I guess it's very potent, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to phrase it, but basically, if you're gonna basically get torn up, like it's gonna be a black man that's probably gonna do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, do we have like any videos or anything that we could?
Yeah. So actually, we pulled a bunch of the top tweets.
Oh, there you go.
Some of them are from the perspective of Adam 22. Some of them are from the perspective of other people. But overall, I think all of the conversation is kind of absurd. So if you're looking at the screen now, if you're on Spotify, sorry you can't see this, but you can just go to Adam 22's Twitter and there's all types of nonsense. The first tweet that he said, could you go back to that one real quick?
Yeah.
Basically, and before the video came out, he did heavy promo.
Yeah, this is the build-up.
Yeah, so he's got a very beautiful picture of him and his wife.
I thought this was someone commenting at him, but it's like this is him actually saying. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so basically, this is a picture of him and his beautiful wife, and he's saying 6 days until my wife gets her back blown out, and then there's 2 hearts. So he's excited about it.
Yeah, and I'll give it to him because like I mean it does. I've seen other interviews after this. He doesn't seem like he's bothered by it, which I'm like. Most people wouldn't want that, but I mean, it seems like something that he kind of was like on terms with himself. So yeah. I think it's funny in general, but I mean, it seems like he's in on the joke too. So I think it's kind of like an all around, like, just a fun time.
Yeah. I mean, so like if for a little background on Adam 22, the show that he does a show on OnlyFans. It's called, I don't remember what it's called, but basically he interviews a adult actress. And then him and his wife have like a threesome with that person. So they've had interactions with, other women plenty of times. Mm-hmm. So I guess like it almost makes sense to me. But I mean, obviously as a man who wouldn't let my wife create any or have any type of sexual experience.
You could just say as an insecure man, Steve. It's fine.
Yeah, as an insecure man, it's just really not on the table for me. But he's like kind of bragging about it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think that's funny. It's kind of like, that's the only way you really clap back at the internet because he probably anticipated like this would be the blowback, but it's like, if you're just leaning into it, it's kind of like when
emphasis on blowback.
Yeah, it's kind of like when 6ix9ine, they pretty much he snitched and they started calling him a rat. He just leaned into it like, yeah, I'm a rat. He put in his songs, changed his thing. So I think that's like the only way to attack internet scrutiny is to just not like show how unbothered you are and lean into it, because then it's like, one, it diffuses the whole bomb, and then it's just, now you can't really make fun of him for it.
If you don't, then it just gets worse. But what do we have next? Is it?
Yeah, see some more memes though.
Yeah, do we have more memes? Maybe an interview or something. Oh, this is actually the response after. Maybe this is after the video dropped.
Okay.
The response of when basically the
scene happened.
Yeah, this is the wife. This is the wife.
This is the post scene interview. Okay.
Yeah. So the wife is giving her take on how she felt.
They don't say that. They don't say that. Hard to go back to a reasonably sized white after dealing with a baby arm. Is it upsetting?
No.
Is it hard to go back to regular life?
So first of all, I wouldn't say that yours is regular. I would say yours is definitely like above average. So let's give you that. Yes. Every time we take your pants off on Plug Talk, the girls like, oh, I'm surprised.
But for a white guy. They don't say that. They don't say that, but they're thinking
What
that.
is this?
Maybe, I don't know, someone called you good boyfriend once, and I feel like that was a good compliment, because nobody wants like an outrageously large all the time.
Right.
It wasn't hard to come back to.
Like, what is
I
this
was in a lot of
conversation?
pain for a few days, so having sex was,
It was reupholstered.
you were a little traumatized by me being like, ouch, hold on.
At first, yeah. But that did go away pretty quickly.
It took like 3 or 4 days, yeah.
Yeah. You feel like it snapped back? Well, you never had the natural.
Did it retain its form, honey?
There's like a darkness in his eyes.
to go
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, let me open it up a little bit.
Damn it.
Now, do you genuinely think he's like unbothered by this at all, or do you think like there's any bit of him that's a little bit phased?
I think he's leaning into it for profit. But I do think that deep down, part of him wishes that he was a normal guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it, but I feel like deep down, like he's just trying to be like, oh, I'm not insecure and I'm just chasing the bag or something.
Right.
It seems like he's going after the money, and he knows that by leaning into it, it's become like one of the most viral things of this entire year. So
True.
pretty much like at this point, it's not like he can like undo his wife.
He actually ended up saying before that
He can't buy her purity back.
He actually said before that he did feel some type of way about it at first.
Yeah.
He was actually a little upset, a little angry about it when it first happened. But then he quickly got over is what he said in a little interview. So.
Well, yeah, I think that what I kind of get from it, because I've seen like those interviews, and it's like he said those things you said, but you could always kind of notice like there's like a look in his face sometimes, where it's like he kind of has to turn himself off to like, because I don't feel like anyone would be that stone cold, especially with the type of like scrutiny you're getting from it, like with their wife having basically got literally railed on camera. So I'm like, there's probably a part of him, like he said, that's like kind of messed up by it. But if I had to be honest, I think he's definitely leaning into like the whole profit aspect, because it's like, well, if I act like it doesn't bother me and it's for money, it feels less painful. But I think what probably bothered him the most, like naturally, is the fact, like I didn't think he anticipated how much it would bother everyone else.
Right.
Because I think it's like, it's one thing if you do something that's a little bit shameful and no one talks about it, you can kind of live on. You can kind of like, get over day by day. But it's like, if everyone's talking about it and basically saying how much you should feel bad about it, I think that's the part that probably would make you feel a little bit like, start to get a little anxious. Like, oh man, did I do the right thing? Like,
right. You know who's not questioning his actions? This guy. So this is an interview with the guy that actually did the dirty deed.
This is a good idea. Guy that ruined a marriage.
Oh, I actually saw the video released yesterday. I saw it. First of all, wow. Second of all, whose idea was it to end an?
Okay, so I guess her had been stretched out in a while. So then I was doing all the stretching.
Oh my
It's like
God.
my starting to get numb, and I was like, yo, we have to keep going. It was going so long that it was nothing I could do. It was like the numbness I didn't notice, and I'm like, yo, it's about, and then hey, it happened.
So the was not planned.
Nope.
But then she got freaky with it. She started eating it, you know, doing the nasty.
She got to the moment.
Oh, I actually saw the video released yesterday. I saw it. First of all, wow.
I think that's it. Yeah, you can stop
Second
your
of all,
She loved it so much.
Oh man, was that Adam in the
She loved
background
it
screaming?
so much
Oh no.
that she got into it and just swallowed it.
That'd be a hard.
Oh.
That'd be really tough to watch. Like the guy talking about it afterwards. Yeah.
This is gonna be vulgar here, but not
Right.
only did she eat it, but you know, he finished in her, and then she
And none
took
of it
it
was
out.
planned.
She took it out and then ate it. That's like the most defilement of your wife possible.
God, I don't know, man. Like, listen, let me ask you this. Let's try to make it fair. All right. How much money did he get paid? Because he sounded basically like he got paid a lot.
I mean, you know, the top OnlyFans stars make tens of millions of dollars.
Okay.
So he could have made 10 million off of this.
Okay, all
Who
right.
knows? Like long-term gains could be pretty high, but is it really worth your wife?
Well, let me ask everyone this: let's say $10 million, someone wanted to, basically, plow your wife on camera, and it's gonna be a guy that's it's gonna be this guy or someone akin to this guy here. So he's gonna be like, basically more masculine than you in every metric.
Can it be anyone but him?
No, it has to
He's
be
like
him.
6'6".
No, it has to be him.
Okay.
All right.
And I get $10 million?
You get $10 million, to the family.
I'm not pimping out my wife.
Yeah,
Dad.
no. Yeah, no.
What the fuck is going
no,
on?
I wasn't thinking
Sorry.
about it for the record when I said
Okay.
you get $10 million. I was just like, well, okay, what are you offering here?
No, I'm just like I said, I just want to make sure it's fair because it's like I don't want to take away because the money part seemed like to be a big motivator, so I don't want to take away from the fact like he just gave his wife away for free. No, there was some benefits. So I'm like in fairness of Adam 22's situation, if they were offering you that money, would you do it?
No. Absolutely not.
No?
But here's the thing: if they offered me something like $100 million, right, I would take it and then give her half and then divorce her.
Okay.
What are you, a
because she was willing to do it anyway.
You're like I'm supposed to say yes, but you're supposed to say no. Like
Exactly. Yeah, it's like I'm gaslighting her or something.
Oh. Well,
Like,
hold on.
oh, so you want to do it?
Oh man, well let me land my plane real quick, Steve. But no, that's an inside joke, guys. But let me ask the rest of you. Would anyone else do it for the money?
No.
Okay, a quick note from Hiram.
Yeah.
Trinity.
I feel like Adam and his wife are in a very specific situation, and if I was in that very specific situation, yes, but
Okay.
in a standard, in a standard traditional marriage, no.
Give me the details of like what characteristics are in his situation that would sway it to be yes.
They're white. Firstly, that's gonna play the biggest role.
The biggest part.
It's a huge part.
Very different cultures, very different ideas.
But secondly, they were adult film stars already.
Okay.
True.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Very open already.
Yeah.
For years.
yeah, even if it was for example, like
For
we
money.
said, they let people into their relationship anyway, so it was ruined. There was no future in it anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah, they're probably just even at this point sticking it out just for the money anyway.
Yeah.
But
they have a child.
he did have a conversation with Andrew Tate.
I did. Him and was it
Sneeko.
Aiden Ross?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought Sneeko was there.
No, it was Aiden.
Sneeko loves him.
Yeah. Let's actually see a little bit of that conversation.
Yeah.
Chasing a new high.
I was gonna say what's funny is that I don't. He actually. It was Aiden and Andrew at first, and I think he sprung Adam on him out of nowhere because I think he asked. He kind of set him up. He set up Andrew a little bit because he asked him like what he thinks about the relationship, not thinking that he was gonna be like talking to him in like 10 seconds. But I think it started off with him saying like, oh, I think it's like degenerate, this hedonistic whatever, Andrew Tate words. And then he's like, oh, by the way, I have Adam here, and then now he has to talk to him about it. This was kind of funny.
That's great.
And last thing I want to say is this. Well, not last thing, but I think I asked this. But wait, so Lena, which sex was better? Because you haven't had it. You and Adam. Sorry, Jason was the first dick you
You
had.
know what?
Right?
Let me say something. I find this very uncomfortable to talk about. There's not many things I find uncomfortable, but I just find this uncomfortable to talk about. And the reason is not because, I'm an adult. I know what sex is, of course. I've lived a very varied life. I just feel like, I don't know. We have so many people watching us, and we're just talking about dick and vagina. Don't you think this is below us. I don't know. We're all pretty intelligent people. We talk about the Matrix and how they're trying to dumb us all down and trying to control all of our minds. And this base instinct talk, I find it very uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable being on this stream. If I was sitting with a woman next to me, the last thing I would talk about is our personal life. I just don't think it's the smart thing to do. And I don't think that it is. I don't have any interest in the personal sex life of any married couple, and I don't want to hear about it, and I don't want to talk about it. And I just find it very uncomfortable. I'm extremely uncomfortable in this situation. That's the truth. And I'm not saying that from a position of weakness. I'm saying it from a position of strength. I don't like talking about these things. I don't like talking about women getting fucked. I don't like talking about what I do with women. I don't like talking about any of it. I think that what I do in the bedroom with a woman who I care about should be to a degree.
Wait, how long is this video?
And I think it should be completely private, absolutely. And I don't
I was
want to
probably
hear
gonna
about
end the
anyone
clip.
else fucking. I
Although
want
I
to make
can't
something
see
clear to the I don't watch porn. I've never.
Yeah. If anyone wants context, what was because I actually saw like a good chunk of this was basically they brought in Adam 22, and then Aiden started asking like these obviously uncomfortable questions, like because he was like, hey, would you want to do a scene with Adam 22's wife, like, and then he was asking him that, and then I was like, yeah, dude, would you want to do a scene with my wife, and blah blah blah. And then it started, like you said, they were kind of talking about like topics that pertain to like sex and basically banging his wife, adultery, all that crap.
Yeah.
And the reason he was just like, hey guys, like I'm uncomfortable was because one, I think Adam like at first kind of heard like him basically like calling him like names, essentially like, oh, what he's doing is degenerate, is cuckoldry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think like it was like this kind of tongue-in-cheek type of dialogue going between them for a second. And then it just divulged as to like, am I gonna sit here and basically have this conversation with this guy that I already claim like he
don't
already
respect
he
him.
already heard how much I don't respect him, and now I have to talk to him about like, yeah, I would totally do a scene with your wife and stuff like that. So I think it was just like it was perfectly set up to make him uncomfortable, especially because he has this image now of like having to be like Islamic and not about that. So it's like he was in a weird position. So then, like I said, that's what I think that scene was inspired by.
Yeah. Well, I think that's like a good sort of breakdown of the whole thing. Like, personally, if I was Adam 22, I would be pretty disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
for lack of better words.
What if it gets him off?
It probably does, and that's the thing. Actually, I meant to bring that up earlier. It probably does get him off, and it probably even gets him off more to know that everyone knows that he did it.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate cuckoldry.
He wakes up and he looks at the views, and he's like,
It's like the views
money.
are everything.
My take on it was I didn't mean to cut y'all off.
No, you good.
But it's really like a big aha moment for me, because it's like there was always something more to Adam being obsessed with black culture. There was obviously more to it than just music. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like-
no, there is a weird obsession in this whole in the whole conversation of what he was even posing to his wife in the post game.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I would close with just saying that they definitely have a very specific untraditional relationship. So this isn't me just wanting to I think it's a funny situation, but I'm not gonna bash him because hey, he consented to it. It's kind of something that they do in the relationship, which hey, go at it. I will say that most people probably won't do it, but like I said, he's not living the life of most people. So
He's got a very alternative situation.
Yeah, like I say, they both did porn. I think she was like a porn star herself in all sense of the word. Like she was actually doing that before him anyway. And so yeah, maybe this just kind of along the lines. He doesn't seem that bothered by it. I mean, so it is what it is. I'm sure he'll continue to live the life he wants to do. But as things are, I think it's a very funny situation. And especially in what the kind of cuck hunting culture we have going on right now, I think he was kind of setting himself. Yeah, he was kind of setting himself up to just kind of be the prime target of this year. So.
Yep, it's cuck season. So.
Yes, well, what they say is going on winter, right? It's cucking season?
Yeah.
Cucking season.
Yeah,
It's cucking season, man.
All right, let's close it out, guys.
And
Thanks for watching, everybody. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you're watching now. Know there's other options. You can also find us on Patreon, where we have the full catalog of My Black Friends podcast. You can see the whole thing. and any future episodes we make there. $5 a month and you get all of them.
All right.
Thanks for watching, and we got to pop out of here.
All right, everyone. Peace.